Hey, what's going on, guys? You're here with Team Journey TC. I am so excited for this video today, guys. You have no idea. My shirt will be changing. I'm doing this over like multiple days. Hopefully it'll be edited. Highly is a strong word because I'm still using iMovie or whatever. I gotta use my phone to do some of it. I gotta use my computer to do some of it. I kind of researched. I'm not quite done with all my researching. That's why I'm doing like the first section, which is like my rant on the movie part right now. And then I'll do my more comic-y section after that. So, I'm sure you've already seen the title. You probably know what we're talking about. We're back to Marvel, which you know is whatever. And today we're going to actually be talking about kind of the new stuff, kind of like Phase 4 stuff. You know, I just saw the Comic-Con like video thing. I wasn't there, I didn't go. But, you know, I wanted to get in on all the news, so I know all the things that are happening. Maybe I could even do a video to tell you guys what's happening. I'm sure you've already seen it, though. Everyone knows, like, what's happening, okay? Like, all the new movies coming out. They got a bunch of them slated, a bunch of them sitting at Disney Plus, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait for it to come out. But one of the new movies that's coming out is Thor, Love and Thunder. I think it's called Love and Thunder. I can double check. Yeah, no, it's Love and Thunder. Okay. Which is gonna have Female Thor in it, Jane Foster. Now, before I get into, because I have no idea, it could be a fabulous movie. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be good. I have no idea. It could be great. Okay, I'm slightly confused on how the double Thor is gonna work in the thing, but the movie could be, mwah. It could be fabulous. Okay, but right now this video is mostly just my problem with Female Thor. So right now I'm going to talk about my problem with having a Female Thor in the MCU, and basically having a Female Thor in general, and why I have such a problem with just the concept of it. Next, we're going to actually, after I have that conversation here with you, then I'm going to talk about the comic, which is on my app, on my phone, on an app on my phone. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that and why I have problems with that, especially the writer of that, okay? I'm not quite done reading those, though, so I'll do that later date. My shirt will change. That'll be exciting. Hopefully I'll get enough editing so some of the comic panels will show up as I go through. I wonder how that's going to go. Let's hope it goes well. What I'll probably do is I'll probably have to record the sound over again and then edit out the rest of the video. It'll be a process, but it'll be so worth it. Okay. So first, let's talk about my problem with having a Female Thor in the movies, okay? Alright. Now look. I'm a girl. We've talked about this. We've talked about my love for female superheroes and my deep desire to have more of them, to have more girls. I'm all for that. I'm for, let's go, girl power, let's have more female superheroes in the MCU. I'm down. I want good ones, though, okay? And I don't need the hand-me-downs, okay? I don't need a hand-me-down Thor, okay? You guys know I have my problems with Captain Marvel, but at least, I mean, I know in the comics technically she's a hand-me-down, but in the MCU, she's not. Like, she's her own character. She's not, like, somebody else's character that we then made a girl. I don't need your hand-me-downs. Make me a new one. I want a new one. I want my own character. I don't need the boys' hand-me-downs, okay? I don't. I just don't want it. I love Gamora because there's no boy before her. Let the women you're all about making them make their own path. You know, we gotta have more strong, empowered women, but you just have them follow what the boys do. Like, what? Why? Give me new ones. I don't want, like, who wants the hand-me-downs? Just make me a new one. Like, I can be a strong Asgardian. I don't have a problem with her being Asgardian. That's not the problem. I'm like, why? I don't want it. I don't want the hand-me-downs. I have the same problem with, like, Supergirl or Batgirl or whatever. Okay? It's like, why? I don't need it. I don't want it. It's like all the people, like, they're, like, making women's versions of, like, everything. And I'm like, just make new women's stuff. So, yeah, I just finished reading new shirt change. Cool. You got my new soccer team going on. I didn't notice me and my other one. Oop. I just finished reading all 8 of the Thor comics. Of Female Thor, obviously. What else are we on this video for? I did that by writer Jason Aaron, and the artist is George Molina. So I just finished that. So I feel like I am sufficiently expert enough to talk about these books and why they are... Okay, actually, I thought that they were going to be worse than they actually are. They're not actually that bad. They're just pretty bad. And actually, first let's talk about the art, okay? The art's actually pretty good. I have a little bit of problems with, like, I'll probably edit it together, but just in case, like, I think that's really good. Like, I think that's pretty good. I don't like how she does faces. I find her faces to be, like, so weird, but I think that that's some pretty good art right there going on. Like, I think the art in this book is actually pretty good. It's just, the story is kind of like... Oh my god. Now, I've got a problem. I had a problem with the writer since from, like, day one. Because let me show you this, okay? So she gets a letter, right? Dear Mr. Aaron. This is a guy. I thought actually, when I read it, I was thinking it'd be a girl. Because, you know, they want the girls to write the girl. Whatever. Dear Mr. Aaron, how the mighty Thor has fallen. I'm not referring to Thor, though, at least not yet. I've been collecting comments for a long, long time, especially Thor. I can really only speak for myself, although I've read many similar opinions online from other fans. But I can't recall another moment where my perception of a particular creator, i.e. you, has shifted so quickly. I have truly enjoyed your arcs regarding the God Butcher, the Minotaur, and to lesser extents Malekith. After 3 such strong stories, you were nearing the hallowed halls of the great Thor writers of all the time of my own assessment. I was so excited for the long-awaited Mango story, especially if Ribic drew it. However, that has all been come crashing down after the recent announcements of the upcoming Thor Replacement, which is an obvious gimmick regardless of the spin, and a dislikable limited original sin series involving Thor and Loki, where Thor was just thrashed around by Angela as if he were pre-cap Steve Rogers. Finally, I just don't get it. You seem to understand Thor. It appeared you enjoyed connecting with his fans, yet you have veered off course and so quickly alienated a fan. I waited anxiously for every issue of Thor. Now you have me lost altogether. Sure, we're talking about a fictional character here, I get that, but I've invested years of reading time and gobs of money on merchandise tied to this one character. This is an important pastime of mine, and now Thor and everything else in Asgard may be seen behind me. What a bummer. So, first off, they chose to include that one so she could respond to it. Sorry, so he could respond to it. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, obviously it's like maybe a little harsh. I mean, you're like, it was right after the first issue, which doesn't even, like, include the new Thor, by the way, in it. It's just, like, no one can lift the hammer. And finally she lifts it at the end, but we don't even know who it is, which actually I kind of liked about the story. But we'll talk about that more in, like, a minute. So, clearly he's like, I don't really get it. I don't really think... It's not rude or, like, bad in any... I mean, it's bad, but it's not like rude. He's just like, I don't like this choice. I mean... I was really excited. I really liked you. I don't like this choice you're going in. He even says, like, he's not positive that it's going to be bad yet. But he's like, I think that this is, like, I've really loved Thor, and now he's a girl. It's kind of weird. Which, as we've already mentioned, I don't think that that's a good thing. I think I just want new female characters. And then this is how they start. He starts his, like, reply to it with the words, all right. Which already shows that, like, you're getting in an argument. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay, he's like, all right, so let me get this straight, Oscar. You're a huge, massive Thor fan, and you were enjoying the God of Thunder series right from the beginning. And then one day Thor lost one fight in one issue of a tie-in series, and you heard an announcement for another story that was still months away, that you really couldn't possibly have read yet, and suddenly Thor's world all came crashing down. That's how she starts this off. I don't even want to read this all. as well for the new hammer okay, let's get to where it's actually like new Thor. As well for the new hammer wielder, well, you can dismiss it offhand as an obvious gimmick if you like, but as the guy who came up with the idea and who crafted the story, I clearly see it as something quite a bit different. In the pages of Marvel Comics going back to 1962, the hammer of Thor has always come with certain inscriptions, one of that being a very specific promise, the promise of transformation. That promise first established, yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, alright. Jesus, alright. The guy, like, oh my god, your poor guy just sent you a letter and you're like roasting him in like your comic. Oh my god, I was like, geez, okay. Guy's a fan. I want to be a fan after. Can you imagine if your like favorite writer like sends you a message like, you idiot, why don't you like my new story? It's just like, oh my god, yeah, you think you're gonna alienate him more or less now? It's like, geez, okay. And yeah, it is a gimmick. We just talked about how it's such a gimmick. I don't appreciate the gimmick. Like, oh my god. Okay. Alright, can we just, okay, let's just talk about it. The first issue is so bad. It's like, it's like all set up of like the villains or whatever. Nothing actually happens. And it's just bland and boring and just like, Thor it's basically just beating up on Thor. The male Thor. She's now female Thor. I know her whole name being Thor is very important, I know, but whatever. It's fine. Anyway. But she meets, well, I guess she's Jane Foster, so she already knew it, but she as Thor meets him, and she's like, I think you are my mother. He goes, are you my mother? I know that she's, whatever. And then she immediately, as soon as, that's the wrong, yeah, he asks her if he's her mother. Then she immediately kisses him. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, yeah, I guess it proves, well, it doesn't even technically prove you're not his mother, but he still thinks it's his sister afterwards, so I don't know what's going on in that family, but it is so weird. And the dialogue, did nobody edit this? Because she's like, next time I assure you will not be so generous. And then Thor's like, what she said. No one starts a sentence with That's not a thing. No one starts a sentence with I'm like, I can't right now. So there's that. And then he gives her, I have them all screenshotted because I just needed to remember the important parts. Then he gives her the name and the hammer, and he's like, oh, you're so great and fabulous or whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Then she comes in, and this guy, I don't know his name. It doesn't come up. But he's like, ugh, feminism, am I right? And like, that's not going to pull you out of the story at all. It doesn't at all. And she's like, where you got this? This isn't how it's, and he's immediately like, oh, okay, I'm going to treat you how other Thors. And then she's like, wouldst thou wishest thou touch my hammer and be my guest? Like, she's so snarky. And then you learn out that she has like cancer or whatever. I'm like, how are you this snarky, okay? She's so annoying. So annoying. She's like the least likable character ever. She's like just so angry at like everyone. And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, here it is. Thor, are you kidding me? You're supposed to call you Thor? Damn feminists are ruining everything. And I'm like, low-key, I relate to this guy so much. Because next he's like, you want to be a chick hero? Fine. You want to be a chick superhero? Fine. Who the hell cares? But get your own identity. Thor's a dude. One of the last manly dudes. Okay, he doesn't need to be one of the last manly dudes. I'm like, whatever, but yeah, get your own identity. This guy's a genius. Why? This guy's the villain of the story. This guy's a freaking hero. All he does is literally be like, yo, Thor's a dude. Go be some other hero. That identity's taken, okay? That's really all he says. So I'm like, you're so right, man. And then, this is just the funniest ever, because, like, what is even happening? I don't even know. Like I said, art really good, but besides the faces just bother me so much. Okay, then his, like, wife comes out, okay? Who's, like, robbing from this bank, too. And she's like, she's like this strong women, you know, fighting each other. Let's do this. We're ready. Strong women fight. I don't even care. It's fine. No. No, she doesn't. Okay. This girl is literally like, but just so you know, this is a one-time girl power pass. Like, she's like, we're not going to fight her. Can't have been easy for you. Hasn't been for me either. I'm like, oh my god. She's been at it for 5 days. It's been the easiest shit ever. All she had to do was grab a hammer and go and hit some things. What are you talking about? Because this is issue 2. Nothing has happened. I guess this might be after she fought Malekith. I guess, maybe. Oh my. She's like, I'll give you this one pass. And she's like, and then luckily Thor isn't like at least this much of an idiot. She's like, I'm gonna punch you. And she's like, I know, you can punch me. Girl power, girl, let's go. What? That's no. What villain comes to someone and is like, yeah, I'm gonna just turn myself in and my husband in for girl freaking power. I just find it so funny. And then she does it with Freya, too. With Freya. Because there's this whole thing about being an all-mother. And she's like, and what of the all-mother? I'm told that age of all-mother is come and gone. Just as I've been told that Thor cannot be a woman. Oh my god. Thor can't be a woman because he isn't one. He could if they'd written it that way. It's like saying, why can't, like, Angela be a dude? I mean, she can, technically. I don't think there's no reason that the story couldn't be rewritten that way. But why? Why? People told you that because they're freaking right. Okay. Alright. I guess I'll finally talk something good about this story besides the art. I actually, though I already knew it was Jane Foster, I thought the mystery of her going, of us not knowing who she is, kind of nice. I like that. I thought it was good. But that was the only interesting thing about the story. All the villains, they fight the Destroyer. Malekith and this Minotaur guy have something going on. It doesn't even finish, and I'm pretty sure this series is done. I'm not positive the series is done, but I'm pretty sure the series is done. So I don't know where that goes, because that's like just completely left in the open. They're like, oh, we got this thing, and we gave it to these frost giants. It's going to make this all-powerful thing, and we've also made like a blood pact, and then they're just like, we're done. That's all we need to share about this. Word. I could be wrong about that, though. There might actually be more issues. But I mean, in the end, it was kind of nice. She's like, the world needs a Thor, so I'm gonna die for it, because she's got cancer, apparently, or being Thor is giving her cancer. Maybe it's a little bit unclear. But I think that's it. I would think that being Thor is what's keeping her alive versus the other way around, but I don't know. If Jane Foster said it, it must be true. Anyway, this. It's just hilarious. I'm glad I read it before the new movie comes out, because you know then I can review the movie with that was not what I meant to do, with like a comic eye, you know, but just you should go read it for yourself if you have what's it, Marvel Unlimited. I should talk about that one day. It's really good. You should just read this. It's only 8 issues. Just read the series straight through. It's it's a fun time. Not necessarily in the best way, but I guess that's all my thoughts on Thor. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Oh, subscribe.